means to keep right.
Hey friends, happy Friday. It is August 27, 2021, and I hope you're ready to prepare to go there because this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hanging out with my best friend, my wife, my secret weapon in life, Sarah Joy.
What's up, everybody?
You have been the most active fan
In the chat.
Been
I
on
do my
it
part. It's honest work.
every time. So I wanted to bring you on so we could celebrate, prepare to go there, number 50.
Yes.
Does it feel like the 50th already?
No, that's crazy.
It's crazy,
Happy
right?
50th episode. I'm so proud of you for your commitment. And already getting to 50, that is crazy.
Pretty cool. So anyways, today is Future Friday. I'm going to go through just a few of the kind of the intro items, and then we're going to be answering some questions. We're going to be kind of reliving the past 50 episodes, just looking at, them from a reflection point of view. And then we'll be talking about the giveaway because we've got a leadership mastermind underway. So it's going to be good. But let me welcome each of you to the Future Frontier. And I'm so excited to have this conversation again and again with you because it really is important. The truth is most people don't know how to lead others into a better future because they don't know how to lead themselves there first. And so that's why we're going on this daily coaching journey. It is to grow in self-leadership so that way we can go the distance, make a difference in our leadership journey. And to me, that is leading yourself, and then you can lead others, and then you lead through others. So Prepare to Go There is really an invitation for friends and leaders alike to focus practically on the future and then figure out how to lead themselves there tactically day by day. So we talk a lot about, self-leadership, focus, productivity, scheduling, a lot of the boring basics that just don't get enough attention. And I have found that we're all going through this, phase of life to prepare, right? Preparation is necessary, but it often goes unnoticed. And so you just need somebody to keep you encouraged and give you some strategies or tactics along the way. And so if this resonates with you, I want to invite you to the Future Friends email community.
Can we hear a whoop whoop?
Yeah, all the Future Friends. If you're watching Future Friends, go ahead and say hi in the chat.
Yay.
Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to start dropping in any questions that you may have because that's what today's all about. But the Future Friends will get emails of all of the content in the form of weekly roundups. And so all the blogs and the vlogs and live streams and all that goes directly to you. And Future Friends are getting the info and incentives about all the cool projects like this one, right. Which is the giveaway. I'm super excited to be hosting a leadership mastermind with y'all. And we had 5 spaces available. So we wanted to give that away for the 50th here. And now we kind of get to just kind of go off and have fun and talk about what it's been like to do this. So let me ask you, when I first started this, what did you think? Did you think I was serious? Did you think it would last? What did you expect? How do you think the show's been going so far?
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me weigh in. Testing 1 2. So I have always, I think always, unless I'm lying, but I think I've always been really excited about you doing a show, especially a live show, just because I think you have a lot to offer and you have a lot of lengthy content. A lot of times, you can definitely expound and give people a download. So I feel like this is a good space for you, and just being able to have that consistency in your day to kind of do, I know like YouTube people would call it an orbit, but kind of like going every single day and uploading videos or going live. I think it's really good. Plus, I mean, when you're gonna go live, you can kind of just hit topics as they come to you, or like kind of I don't know, stay in your brain space. You don't have to like put a lot of prepared work into it. And I'm not saying you don't prepare for your show, because I know you come with a lot of content, but as opposed to like blogging and like formatting it and like plugging everything in and, you know, just doing that extra work on the posts or like sending out emails every day, like that's a lot of work. But, you know, just for our lifestyle right now, like trying to be able to fit it into the schedule, I think it's been really awesome for you to have a show to get that out. So I'm pumped. I think this is a great fit, and everybody needs to know how awesome it is.
Very cool. Thank you. So where do you want to go from here? We have a lot of different things we can talk about, and this is generally the day. This is generally my off day, and I call it Future Friday because I like taking field trips into the future, which I've talked about before. You can just go through the archive there, and you know, we have that checklist. First, you have to have a finish Friday to make sure that you can, you know, get off and go off limits and go offline and really have the confidence to focus. And then you go into Focus Friday, which is big projects or goals. And then you have Future Friday, which is where you're dreaming or planning about things in the future. And then you have Future Friends, which is kind of like the bonus round. It's the ultimate, where if you can get a good conversation in and help somebody else work on their future, then that's a win for sure as well. But I don't have any content, so I'm just kind of along for the ride.
But I do.
And Sarah Joy's got some ideas. And where are we going next?
Okay, so I think it would be fun. I'm going to act like your interviewer.
Nice.
And I want to go back in time and just walk us through some of your favorite episodes, because, I mean, the 50th episode is definitely something to celebrate. So I want to, go back in time a little bit, talk about some of your favorite episodes that you've gotten to do. I know I can come up. Ooh, I've got a Rogue mic here. I was manhandling it a little too much. So I can come up with, you know, your list of all of the episodes on YouTube, but I want to hear from you, like what's some of your personal favorites, and then I have a list of some quotes that I've gathered from your shows, and maybe we can talk through some of those too.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but I remember your first episode was your life-changing advice. So
yeah,
take me back to that first episode. What did it feel like to go live? First of all, you weren't even on YouTube.
Nope.
Because I'm looking back on YouTube, and you start at like episode 12 or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
So tell us your process.
It was just an intention to go in this direction. I started live streaming to YouTube, but I only put it up on my website.
Yeah.
And then I put on the header, hard to find for a reason.
Yeah.
And that was just my way of saying, you know, let's take this first step. Tried it out.
It means he's an introvert.
Yeah.
And didn't want anybody to actually see it.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no.
I was totally down to go public. I just wanted to make sure that I had, you know, things set up the way I expected it.
Yeah.
And so it worked out. And then, you know, about a week or two later, I said, yeah, I think let's give it a try.
It was a good thing too, because
go live.
Moving in,
there were a number of times where the internet died.
Yeah.
And
it's been a struggle.
Had to work on that. So
we've had internet techs come out like multiple times, because this has really pushed it to the limit, which it was never really awesome to start with. And then trying to live stream, it would just die all the time. So it's probably good that you didn't have those really like published out for a while. But yeah.
Plus, I think, you know, at least the first, I don't know, 10 or 15, you're kind of finding your rhythm.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? And
you're learning the software and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of learning curves to go. But anyways, I think my favorites would be
and these are on YouTube, so you can go back and look at them as well.
The day you start leading yourself was pretty good.
That is episode 14.
I liked that one a lot. I also liked the episode 22 on a simple framework to stay focused. That was really good. And then the one with us on tactics for feeding yourself at home. That was good. I like that one. And I mean, they're all really fun, but I think this last round was really good. Episode 49 or live stream number 49, which was get yourself going with a lifestyle of consistency. That was really good. So I would say, just off the hip, those would be my top three.
Nice. I had a great idea, but I had it too late, and that was to get quotes from every single episode and come with those. So I don't have that, but I do have a list of some quotes from some of your episodes. I do want to point out, just if you've been watching for any amount of time, you've probably noticed even like his setup here has gotten better. So
Thank
no,
you.
I mean, you look back in some of your first episodes, I mean, it's just a blank white wall. You look like you're sitting in a corner like of a closet or something. And then slowly, we added stuff on, and then I feel like your camera angle has gotten better, and we worked on the mic. So you can just see some improvements even there, which is cool to look back and see. I don't know how far you've come even in there. Mm-hmm. If I can get into some of your quotes, maybe you can expound upon them a little bit. All right. And I just have probably like 6 or 7 here.
Nice.
So lead yourself so that you can be a strength and not a burden. I know I've heard you say that several times. Well, I hear you say it all the time.
I know, but it's really like a life motto at this point.
Being a strength and not a burden. Like, tell us what that means to you, or what you were inspired by. In order to, or, what made that hit home for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, the big theme for Prepare to Go there is self-leadership, and it's learning. I mean, part of it is just helping emerging leaders go through adulting, and just working on themselves, working on life skills. Mm-hmm. But I think a big mindset shift is that idea of empowerment. And it's come in stages, but a really big shift for me was, when we did a vlog on stress, and we kind of told that story. And during that season, you don't understand what's going on or why you're feeling the way you are. Mm-hmm. And you kind of just feel out of control, and you feel helpless. And hopelessness is normally attached to the feeling of helplessness. And so whenever you, pray and ask for hope, I believe the Lord will give you a wisdom plan, and then you can start taking action. And so if you can just imagine like a spectrum, you have 0 in the middle, and then you have all the negatives on one side and all the positives on the other side. I don't want to just get out of the negative, which is, stop being, mm-hmm. Hopeless. I want to be in the positive, man. I want to go to hopeful. And so the same is true with helpless and helpful. I don't want to feel helpless. I actually want to be helpful. And that's where, that just anthem kind of came in. You don't have to be a burden. You can be a strength. And so that really is like a kind of like a high goal for me to help other leaders to realize, hey, the work we're doing now matters because other people are counting on us, and, we want to show up ready.
I'm giggling because it makes me think of a Justin Bieber song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you love me, you love me, you love me when I was unstable.
Oh, really?
You gotta have love even when you're a burden. And then you can be a strength.
I know. Good. Okay. Because you always want to feel on, you always want to feel like at your best. And sometimes you're just not, and that's okay. But you don't have to stay there. Yeah. And one of the things that actually gave me a lot of hope was thinking that I'll be a strength to other people. Man, I've gone through this, so now I'm going to have some value to give away to other people.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I have another quote. There's value in getting away so that you can get ahead. This is another Peterism, but get away so that you can get ahead. I guess if somebody's never heard this before, give them like 2 examples or 3 examples of getting away to get ahead. Like in a 1 hour scenario, in a 1 weekend scenario, and in a 1 week scenario.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
So that really is the, I guess, the secret sauce with my whole approach to productivity. Is this idea that, leadership is the ability to prepare people for the future and also prepare the future for those people that you're leading and that you're serving and you're caring about. And I mean, if you really want to go deep dive in it, I'm inspired by Jesus, and I think he is literally in our future. He says, I go to prepare a place for you. So just that idea of getting away, and you think, oh no, the important people, they are, with you all the time. And I didn't want to be that kind of leader when I'm working with my teams, or, when I'm helping other people, where they just think your only value is what you contribute in the meeting or in the moment. I think a lot of us are learning the value of just working remotely, being creative, going away for a long period of time, and then coming back with some really big breakthroughs or contributions. And there's, a lot of other inputs that we could mention in that, but getting away is not fleeing the scene, but getting away is purposefully, getting a plan and working on it. So that way, when you come back, you really come back, with something to offer. So levels of getting away, get ahead would be, first off, I think every day you can have deep work sessions. And
every day.
I mean, hopefully that's a goal.
I was thinking of the 1 hour for 1 week kind of thing.
Yep, totally. So that's a big staple.
That's a blog too.
There's a blog there, so go check that out, peterbirchville.com. And I'm thinking we could even just put the link in the show notes.
We could. Sorry for all the yawning.
Yeah.
He didn't feed me enough coffee today.
Yeah. So, but
that's what you get.
1 hour in, 1 week out. That's the weekly planning session. That's an awesome way to get away so you can get ahead. And I physically would drive myself to a coffee shop, and just I like that idea.
It was really easy when we lived right next to a really bomb coffee shop, but
it was amazing.
It's okay.
But I mean,
that's the only thing
you feel like you're getting out of your normal, routine, normal space, and you also have a little bit of constraint because you only have so much coffee, so much time to be at that kind of offsite location.
That's right.
And so it just kind of creates a nice, healthy pressure cooker for solutions and results.
He would go at like maybe 7:00 at night, and so they would close at 9 or 10. So you had to be out of there by a certain time. So to really like plan your week or work on a project or kind of get something done, I mean, he would have that time to do it. So sometimes it would be like, go there to write a blog, or go there to plan your week, or go there to work on a PDF that you're going to give away, or work on a book or whatever. So you really just have the time. If you go in the evenings, it's especially like a time incentive, I guess, because you have to get it done before you have to leave and pack up all your stuff. So
and the same is true as if you start early in the morning, you're trying to knock it out before everybody else catches
before you
up.
Have to go to work.
But another example would be just like dream dates that we go on, or like a legit getaway where you can kind of get out of town. We're B&Bers, so we like to go find a house, rent it, and enjoy kind of the local experience there wherever we are. And so that's really useful as well. Kind of looking ahead at the quarter. I mean, if you could put in an hour to get the week, then why not put in a day and crank out a month or
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 days and have a quarter of stuff laid out. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a really fun principle to experiment with.
It's good. Okay, I think this one is from episode 15. Um, and it's just a good, it's not necessarily a Peterism, but it is a good life lesson that not everybody has um, realized yet. So he's talking about thinking through your thoughts. So that was one of his points in his show. Think through your thoughts. And then he was saying, you get to choose which thoughts that you identify with, because not every thought is something that you have to live by. So why don't you talk about that? Like, how can you choose? What are some examples of thoughts that you can choose to identify with or not?
Yeah, no, that's super good. Whenever you're like in the heat of the moment, you got so much swirling around. It's really good to slow down and kind of externalize the thoughts you're thinking, and not like in a analysis paralysis sort of way where you're just trying to catch every single thought that you're having. But I talk about, there's a blog about this, and then there's also the framework for having a focused lifestyle, and I talk about summarizing what you're thinking and then figuring and then strategizing, how you're going to move forward. And I think it's really good whenever you feel like you're on that roller coaster ride, emotional roller coaster ride, and you kind of feel yourself um, picking up some speed in the wrong direction. You can say, no, let's just pause this.
Yeah.
Let's kind of eject and let's create some distance and just begin to realize that all these thoughts are not, they don't have to stick around.
Or they don't have to define you.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, and obviously what you're doing is you're identifying lies or inconsistencies, things that just aren't real, things that they feel real, but they're not really the case. And normally it's words like always or never or
Yeah.
whatever. And when you can identify those inconsistencies, and then replace them with truth, and you replace them what is real, that's just a helpful practice.
That's good. Okay, so another quote, motivation is the lifeblood of progress. So I want to say you're saying in that quote that you always need to have fresh motivation for yourself, to motivate yourself, because otherwise it really is true that if you're not motivated, you can't just you have to be motivated in order to make progress. So even if you're finding that from some inspiration and making yourself motivated, you have to do that in order to make progress. Is that a correct interpretation of what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. I just imagine a big campfire. It takes some effort to get the thing going to begin with. You need a spark of some sort to ignite that campfire, but you also got to keep it going. And so you're constantly fueling your focus. And I make a joke in all of these live streams on, like, you just need something flammable to keep your focus burning. And so I live by this. And there's an amazing life principle. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. And so we need to be constantly living in the word of God personally, but also just practically for whatever you're focused on. A conversation leads to concentration. And when you're listening or you're having that dialogue, whether it's your self-talk or venting with a friend, that can take you in that direction. But in the positive sense, if you are focused, on your health or working out or your budget, you got to be listening to that. You got to be learning about that, and learning more and more content can actually help with that campfire analogy, and you're Learning is burning in that sense because you're stoking your focus, you're stoking your motivation, and then over time, you don't need outside inspiration. Looking to other people for their example only, but you can start looking at your own track record and get motivated by how far you've come.
That's really good. Okay. This one, this quote, I think it's from episode 17. Um, you said, and this actually kind of hit a light bulb for me because I know you're always encouraging me to write stuff down, to journal, to use a calendar. And sometimes I just feel really restricted by those things. I think, no, I don't want to be boxed into like commitments, or um, I don't want to put stuff out there because what if I change my mind? Even I haven't liked journaling even because I don't want to write something down and then look back and be like, no, I don't agree with that anymore. Like I'm different. So I've just never wanted to have a paper trail of like what I have thought in the past. So I want to be like changing or whatever. But anyway, having said that, one of the things you said kind of just made a lot of sense. You said everything needs a place to live. So the episode was clearing the clutter. So I think it's episode 17, but you can look and see. But he's saying everything needs a place to live. So that's not just you, like you need a place to live, which is your dorm or your apartment or your house. Your stuff needs a place to live. So that's the idea that everything has a place and everything gets put away. But he was also saying your decisions need to have a place to live. So your decisions need to have a place to live in your planner or in your journal, your big calendar, your calendar decisions, your calendar plans, they need a place to live. And that's, prioritizing them with reminders and calendars and all that stuff. So anyway, just for that last piece,
Yeah.
I guess that was eye-opening for me. Like, oh, okay, like where do my life decisions live? Are they just in my head? Or are they like in the ether?
That's so good. I don't even think there's much to comment on that. I think you nailed it. And I just encourage everybody to stay focused on the future. And sometimes you're just repeating the past because you didn't really like commit to something like a goal or a decision. So when you make that commitment, now you're on the path to change.
Okay, can I throw you a curveball?
Let's do it.
This is not something I think that's been on the show before. I was about to say the podcast. This is not something that's been on the show before. But this would actually be an entire episode of Pioneer People, now that I'm thinking of it.
Let's do it.
Could you do a small explanation of what we were talking about the other day when you were saying that most people, you kind of just alluded to it, but most people repeat the past, or most people dream about the past?
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, the big idea is I think leaders are going to be more important in the future than less important. With all the craziness and the crises that are going on around us, we're going to need real leadership to continue and to emerge. And thankfully, we have great examples of good leaders. But one of those skill sets or one of those signature strengths of just the kind of leadership we need for the future focused leaders, is that they're visionary and they're not just kind of repeating the same processes, thinking processes, but they're actually, pioneering new solutions and new and needed ways forward. And, when you start thinking about vision and how do you have vision and what does big vision look like and all this stuff. And I was just kind of thinking that a lot of times, you roll around with the new year and you say, okay, here's the vision. And it's basically either some sort of recycled or repurposed version of last year, which isn't necessarily bad, but a lot of people, they just make their vision a bigger, better version of whatever stage of life they're in right now. And I think vision is maybe needs a little more credit than that. Vision is not just the ability to see something bigger or better than where you currently are, the current status of life you're already in. It's actually being open to see something that is unprecedented, that is totally unfamiliar and unique, but still needed. It's not just novelty, it's something really needed. And so I'm just kind of inspired by that. And I think there's a lot of leaders that are leaning into that to say, like, how would we really pioneer a better future?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like a whole conversation, like you said, of all the inputs and the skill sets and um, all that goes into that.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up my last quote. This one was really good too. Okay, this one probably episode 18. Not sure. That's as far as I got before it was time to come. Didn't get to episode 49. Instead of scheduling your rest time, schedule your work time and make your default
rest.
Your rest.
Yes. Man, that was a big aha moment for me. That was a big game changer. And I'm still, I would say, in the practice phase for sure, but it's definitely something I want to run towards. We kind of grew up with this model of productivity where more time equaled more work, more action, more output, and we think that we're going to trade time for productivity. But there's a lot of good research that's coming out now where the power of managing your energy more than just your time, and what is possible when you're like actually in the zone, when you're in the flow, and what you're doing when you're really present and you're contributing and creating really great stuff. And so it's kind of a new paradigm. It's almost almost the opposite of what a lot of people grew up with. It's instead of scheduling big blocks of work and little blocks of rest, try the opposite and schedule very effective quality blocks of work, and then your default,
not multitasking.
Yeah, and then your default will be either a more relaxed pace that is generally available, or just rest in general.
And to your credit, I mean, you said this on your episode 18, and then I heard you listening to a webinar yesterday, and they're giving the same advice. So you said it first. So
nice.
You're here first. Okay. If it's okay with you, I think it would be fun to go through your past episode titles and kind of give you like the opportunity to like quickly come up with like a 1 to 2 sentence summary of each episode.
Nice.
So not like oversimplified, but
sure.
Not just like one word answer, but a pretty short
answer. Then I'll just kind of show you just for a second what we are looking at.
Yep.
So here we go. This is the channel, YouTube Peter Birchfield.
Okay. So go back down to the bottom.
Okay.
And the first one that I see is making life work one day at a time. Give us a summary.
Yeah, so just the importance of consistency, and the two areas to focus on would be your workouts and your workflows.
Got it.
So be intentional about working out every day, or having some sort of plan to work out, and then your workflows.
That's good.
Just optimize that.
All right, the next one, the day you start leading yourself.
So I don't actually remember everything that I said.
What is the day you start leading yourself?
I just challenged.
Or what happens?
I just challenged everyone to say there's a big difference before and after the day you decide to start leading yourself, and you quit blaming other people and living in this.
I feel like that was a good episode.
Yeah, I had this sense that was a really good one, but
yeah,
you stop feeling behind and feeling helpless, and you start thinking about being helpful and getting ahead.
That's good. The next one, so that's Future Friday. Okay, next one. No. Freedom takes responsibility.
Yeah, so that's a counterintuitive idea, but that was right around 4th of July.
Okay.
And I wanted to kind of pay a little tribute to the troops.
That seems so long ago.
I know, but
wow.
But basically, everybody wants freedom, but it takes discipline and it takes sacrifice to enjoy freedom.
It's good. Okay, finding motivation as you go.
Yeah, so you'll never have enough motivation to finish a project or goal or commitment. And that's kind of the crazy thing. We are waiting for enough motivation when the truth is it'll never come. We only get enough motivation to start a big project, a big goal, a big commitment. And then as you just go on that journey, you'll find more motivation along the way.
All right, how to clear the clutter quickly.
Okay, so that one was like very tactical, and there was some 1, 2, 3s,
Yep.
some really practical steps to get into that.
Yep.
But basically, you've got to clear the clutter because you don't realize how much creativity and focus and productivity that clutter is killing, and so you're losing a lot if you don't deal with that.
The next one, getting your best rest possible. As I'm yawning.
So
I need to go back and listen to that one.
So basically, everybody that I work with and that I, friends and leaders that I'm helping, I always challenge them to master the morning. That's like one of the first beachhead moments that I send them off to, and I don't want to just give them a morning routine. I actually want to help them with their evening routine as well. So that was another tactical one with a lot of 1, 2, 3s, thinking through how do you get your best rest so that the next day isn't self-sabotaged, but you actually set yourself up for success.
All right, the next one is rested and ready for more. And just in a little icon, I can see we had just come back from vacation and you're sporting a new hat.
Yeah. So rested and ready for more, that was kind of like the first series I think I did.
Okay.
But we had just gotten back from vacation and it was super fun. And I was thinking a lot about how to help other people take time away intentionally. So that way the time away you spend actually sets you up, for success when you come back, instead of coming back to a mess and coming back so exhausted and again, self-sabotaged.
The next one is hold on, I can't read the whole title. A simple framework to stay ... focused on your future.
Yeah.
Okay, a simple framework to stay focused on your future.
So that was one of the top 3 that I mentioned, and that was super good. And you have to learn how to diagnose yourself when you feel stuck, because you're going to have to learn how to get unstuck. And there's actually 2 tactics that I give to recognize the difference if you're in the fog or in the forest, because you need different strategies to leverage your focus there.
Also, if you'd like to go back through episodes 21 through 25, we have a Peter Beard alert that you can take advantage of.
Nice.
Okay. The next one is time tracking your work progress.
Yeah, that's just another tactical round of productivity. And, a lot of my time, a lot of Sarah's time now is we're kind of being our own boss. And so in the sense that we have to set our own hours and projects and keep up, and we're learning how to work on multiple fronts and multiple projects. So that's just a good one to help you lead yourself at your work.
That's good. All right, moving from aspirational to actionable. I feel like this is a good one too.
That was a really good one too. That was more of a, I think, motivational talk than a tactical one, and just really having an appetite to take action. I think you're the best at that. I am floored by Sarah Joy's stamina to take action. Her like standard for excellence and execution. Her execution level is so crazy high.
Yours is too. I will say I know one area where my stamina is higher.
Yeah.
And that is when some kind of tech breaks down. Peter's level of determination to break through is really low statistically, or historically, I should say. Yeah. My stamina to be like, all right, let's try this. Okay, let's call the tech. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, troubleshooting.
I have
Troubleshooting, yeah.
little patience with troubleshooting, but
Yeah.
I'm really good at ideating and being on the front side of something. But if something breaks down, man,
no.
I'm
like-
still growing. I need to work on that.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah. So that was just a you have big vision, but make sure you have big action to go with it.
All right, the next one is okay. Oh, on episode 25, it is a Future Friday, but
Nice.
I have a artwork alert in the background. It's the first day that artwork appears on the wall, so that's fun.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. Episode 26, focus in the fog and the forest.
Yep. So that was just kind of fine tuning that concept from the framework. And I think honestly, the framework one was introducing summarize and strategize, and then fog in the forest was kind of pushing that a little bit further.
Okay. The next one is the beginner's guide to focus.
Yes. So that was like a whole series of just beginner's guide for focus, patience, habits, leadership is, I think, the one on Future Friday. And yeah, I was just kind of imagining if I were in a room full of emerging leaders, what value would I give them? Hopefully shortcuts I could give them as well, so they could avoid some of the pitfalls. And so focus, patience, habits, just a lot of practical 1, 2, 3s to get started. And I started with a value for it, kind of explaining why it is valuable, and then some hows, how to now do kind of thing.
The next one is a beginner's guide. Wait. Beginner's guide. Which one did we just do?
Well, I just kind of summarized all three.
Because you got beginner's guide to focus, beginner's guide to patience, beginner's guide to habits. And then we go on to the next series, which is tactics to lead yourself at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we've all been in a kind of a brave new world here with, all the stuff going on with COVID, and everybody's having to figure out how to be successful at home. But I think it's a valuable opportunity as well, because we all need to be thriving on the home front anyways. So I just wanted to hit the big idea in the first one, episode 31, and then do some very focused areas to get tactics on. So eating and cooking at home versus wasting your money on eating out all the time because you literally have no survival skills, or staying organized at home, which is productivity based, but not just your work or your job. It's more about keeping your environments clutter free and organized. So that's a good system. And then working out at home has been really fun, because like on yours, I think that's kind of cool. It's like our lives are documenting things in a parallel fashion. So like when I was talking about working out at home, you were doing the projects around the house, and then the garage is coming up.
Yeah.
With the home gym. So
yeah,
that was just kind of cool overlap.
Yeah. So just going through landmarks here. Episode 30 was the first accent wall alert. And then episode 32 was your first guest.
Yes.
On the show.
Right here.
Yep.
My favorite.
All right. So then going on to the Gamify series.
Yep.
We did Gamify Your Future.
And I just want to highlight that from I guess more of a process point of view. I didn't start doing these series until I got into like the 20s and 30s. So it took me a while to kind of get my own workflow of my own process. And I said, if I could take one big idea and then let's drill it down into practical steps throughout the week, that'll be easier for me to create that content. It'll be easier for people to stay on track with the content. So you really do just have to get started, and then you'll get better with it. But gamify your future, that was super fun. I would do another round of gamify your future because there was so much that I didn't.
What are a couple ways you mentioned?
I didn't hit it. I mean, the main thing is you have to enjoy your long game, because if you don't enjoy the game you're playing, you'll never get to the long game phase.
Yeah.
So many people, they quit or they forget their long game because they're just bored out of their mind, and it's because they're not doing it right. And so you really can enjoy the journey. You can have fun day by day. You don't have to procrastinate your joy. You don't have to just always be looking into the distant future, thinking that all of your success and happiness is out there, but you can, be present and enjoy where you are even today while you're working on things incrementally.
All right, tell us about gamify your personal growth.
Gamify your personal growth is like, how do you develop a lifelong pursuit of learning and a lifestyle of leveling up.
The next one,
personal health.
Gamify your personal health.
So that was more of just a checklist of areas that you need to be investing in personally for your health. So sleep and working out and eating, and we just kind of drilled down into a bunch of details in that area.
The next one is no.
I think that was pretty much it.
Was the game of, what is lifestyle leadership is the next one.
Lifestyle leadership was another way of saying lead by example. So many industries, so many teams, they're built off of more of a positional, hierarchical kind of pyramid scheme where people on top have more power than people below. And you can still get results that way, but you don't inspire people, and people don't really respect you as a person. So I was just inspired by the way Jesus led and leads, and I just want to, treat people the way I want to be treated. So.
And I see that lifestyle leadership is a series. So you had what is lifestyle leadership, how to grow lifestyle leadership, leveraging your lifestyle leadership, empowering your team with lifestyle leadership.
So I think the last two are probably the crescendo,
leveraging and empowering.
Yeah, because leveraging your leadership, you're being authentic, you're being your real self. But if you are, I don't know, you can kind of lose your authenticity if you try to market it too hard, and if you try to push that too hard. So I was trying to help people balance, if you have like a personal brand, or if you're building relationships, how do you live authentically without making that your marketing angle, and then you kind of lose the whole point. And then empowering your team is super important. And I think that conversation should go viral.
Wow. Viral. Says a lot. Okay. Then just coming back to this past week, get started so you can get better.
Yeah. So ironically, that one took a turn on me, because I was going to start it with make sure that you're balanced and you're getting started on stuff, but you're also getting better on stuff. So I'll need to start over. And then eventually it just turned into get going. So it was kind of focused more on the first part of that equation. But it's so important. You have to get going in order to get better to begin with. And a lot of people, they just kind of get stuck before they start. And I'm trying to help them kind of launch.
Yep. Nope. How to get yourself going in the morning?
Morning.
Is it morning?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 3 applications for that. Get yourself going in the morning. We talk at length about your morning routine. So there's plenty of strategies and tactics to work on. And then get yourself going with work. I kind of imagine that as the first 1 to 2 hours of your workday. How do you actually like go straight to the most important stuff? And how do you get your best work done up front instead of kind of dilly-dallying and kind of puttering and sputtering, and then you burn your work day.
That's good. Coming in to the last 2, how to get yourself going with work.
Yeah, so that was one I just mentioned, and
that was morning.
Yeah, morning routine is just waking up.
And then work.
And then work is your first 1 or 2 hours of work.
And then how to get yourself going consistently.
That was actually how do you get yourself going with habits and goals that you want to build consistency on. So it's getting yourself going in kind of a longer time frame.
Okay, this is just fun facts. The shortest episode that I see on here is how to clear the clutter quickly, followed by a beginner's guide to patience.
That is unintended.
Yeah, those were probably like re-filmings when our Wi-Fi crashed.
No, that is true. Yeah. So the internet crashed, and by the second or third round, I was like, all right, let's just get to the point.
Your longest episode, you've got 2.
This is super fun. I like this. This is fun.
Your longest episode looks like it is Freedom Takes Responsibility. That is at 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Whoa.
Followed by Prepare to Go There 30, which is also 1 hour and 6 minutes.
What was that one?
I don't know, but it was apparently popping.
Something was going off on that one. Okay.
Maybe your Wi-Fi crashed. I don't know.
Who knows?
Okay, I have a controversial question.
Great.
And you don't have to answer off of the ones that we have in front of us. Do you have a worst episode?
Well, it's probably the first 12 that are not even up.
They're not listening.
You don't even get to see those.
They're not.
I don't know. That's a good question. Which one would I ban from the channel?
Take one down.
Take one down. Take one down. I don't know. I'm okay with
it.
I'm okay with most of these.
So. It's good. So it's 1 through 12. We don't know.
You'll never know.
Yeah. Or 1 through 11, I guess. The ones that aren't up. It's good. He's looking at a monitor over the screen, so
yeah,
that's why you can't see it. Okay, well,
I don't know. Probably one of the future Fridays. I think I don't come on Friday with content, so
yeah,
I'm sure those
answer questions.
Yeah, I'm sure those.
So really,
lame.
It's your fault.
No,
audience. You didn't supply the content.
We need questions.
All right, I have.
Okay, so wait. That was fun, but now we have the grand finale.
We do. It is episode 50. We're celebrating hard. Peter is doing a mastermind, as he often does, and he has opened up an extra 5 spots that he's giving away to this mastermind. And so we ran a giveaway for this past week.
Thank you, everyone who participated.
So much,
Thank you so much.
And now it is time to draw 5 names from this giveaway. So we're really excited.
Drum roll. All right. So the first of 5 given away is nice. Stevie F. Card.
Stevie.
Hey, Stevie. Congratulations.
All right. The second one.
Yes. Okay. Sergio Santoya. Congratulations, brother. Looking forward to it.
The next one. Hold on. I'm going to shuffle them around here.
Okay, Justin Hodges.
Woo-hoo.
Amazing. This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this.
All right.
Great. Abby Circles.
Woo-hoo.
Yes. Abby, she had so many advantages because she reposted, she tagged people. I mean, she was pretty assertive with the giveaway.
One?
All right, last one. Here we go.
Number 5.
Yes. MLLX.Wendy.
Wendy from Paris.
Our friend Wendy from Paris. Hey, this is going to be a really fun mastermind.
Congrats,
I'm glad that
guys.
these 5 are going to be jumping in with the rest of us. It's going to be September 4, and we're going to have a deep dive leaning into future-focused leadership. I'm going to go through those topics. Tell me which one you would want to be in on.
That's good. I think
which one of those sessions?
It was like about communication, how to communicate your
new ideas effectively.
I want to be in on that one.
Okay.
Let me look up the rest of these.
Which self-leadership practices are most important to model for your team? That's one of my big ones.
Calendar strategies to accomplish mission-critical goals on time.
I love it.
Peter's really good at that.
Identifying the future of what you do in the middle of disruption. So that's probably the most like future-leaning thing. We'll get really strategic out there.
And then growing a community of leaders that will take on anything together.
Yeah, because I think we learned in 2020, everything that goes on the calendar is probably in pencil anyways. So where can we really like invest? Where can we really commit? And I think developing leaders is the best investment that you could make. Regardless of what happens, you can always invest in great leaders, because great leaders are going to roll up their sleeves and they're going to go after, whatever opportunity or obstacle is in front of them. So
that's so good. Well, guys, congratulations to everybody that won this contest. Thank you for entering. And just again, make sure that you're signed up for Peter's email list, because we will do giveaways again in the future. I'm sure of it. And you'll also hear any announcements for new stuff that's coming out or new opportunities to be a part of. And one cool thing that Peter does is a weekly roundup, he calls it. And that's actually coming out today. He does on Fridays. And he just does basically like a week in review email. So he'll put links to all the different shows where you can access them if you didn't get the chance to watch it yet, or if you want to rewatch one of them. He puts the links to all those shows and then includes the blog that he wrote that week, and it's just a weekly roundup email that goes to you. So that's really cool. So make sure that you're signed up for that, and make sure that you're following him on Instagram. I'm doing your push for you today. You
do it. Yeah, I like it.
Make sure that you're following him.
I've done it 49
Instagram.
Times.
This is great. I have a great tip for you. If you go on Instagram, if you want to make sure that you are seeing all of his posts and all of his stories, what you're going to do is you're going to go to his page. I have it right here. Let me get it up nice and personal with you. You're going to hit the bell, which is where are my fingers. You're going to hit the bell right there. And that makes sure that makes it sure. I don't know what I'm saying. That makes sure that you are seeing his content whenever he posts. So it'll give you a little notification that he made a new post or he made a new story. And that's one easy way that you can stay up to date with all that's going on, because he's a wealth of information and knowledge, and he always does a great job. So you don't want to miss that valuable content. Turn on your notification bell. Oh, looks like I got to turn on my bell, even though you're the first in my feed all the time. I got you.
So good.
Anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. I don't want to be on the longest episode, so we're going to probably sign off.
Jump off now. Hey, have an awesome weekend. We will be back on Monday, or I'll be back on Monday.
I'll be here too.
Another round of Prepare to Go there. See ya.
Bye, guys.
There it is.